Hey peeps, we're back. Water change is done. Water is definitely a lot clearer. I ended up doing about, I'd say, a 70-75% water change instead of like a 50. This was the first time I ever used the drain and fill kit, which I show in that other little clip that I spliced in. It's the first time I've ever used it. I just got it yesterday at PetSmart. Wasn't even sure if it was really going to work or not because I didn't know if it was going to fit in the sink, but it did, so I was really happy about that. Now, what I've got to do is let the tank sit for a few more days. What I'm trying to do is when you first dirt a tank, you need to do 4 or 5 good water changes on it before you think about putting fish in it because of the nutrients in the water. Now, some people will tell you that they've gone out and gotten fish 3 days later and thrown them in there and they were fine. Well, that might be okay. It might have worked for them. I don't know. I mean, I can only tell you I've never done it before. This is my first dirted tank. So I just don't want to take any chances. I want to give this tank probably a good 3 weeks and several water changes before I'm going to add any fish on it. I haven't done any water tests yet to see where anything's at because I haven't, I know I'm going to be doing numerous water changes and I'm not worried about putting fish in it right now, so I haven't really been concerned at where any of my nitrate, ammonia, whatever would be at. I don't know exactly how much, nutrients the soil's putting out, if it's putting out a real excess of them. I know the first night that I set up the tank, I just did the water in it. I added prime to the water for the chlorine and stuff, but that was it. That was all I added to it. The third night when I got the plants to put them in, when I drained the tank completely that night and then I planted it and then I refilled it, I then put the prime in it, and then I also put in from Top Fin the bacteria starter for the cycle. Another thing that I wanted to tell you about was, I had bought the Aqueon 5575 power filter for the back, and that's a new filter, but then I took my Marineland Penguin 150 off the 20 because in that I had a filter bag with Seachem's matrix in it running on the 20, and I said, well, let me use this to seed the new tank, and I'll let that run on here for a couple of weeks while I go through these water changes and stuff. It's already got the good bacteria already on it, so it'll help this tank to cycle. Another thing that I could do that I haven't as of yet, and we'll see where I'm at when I start testing the water and I'm ready to add fish to it, is I may go and use one of my little filter bags that I have and put some of the substrate from the 20 in the bag and then stick it in one of the filters to also help get this tank cycled. I'm hoping to get fish in it in probably another 3 weeks. I've had the tank up now, like I said, this is day 6, so I've gone through about a week. Within about 3 weeks I plan on adding the fish. The water looks good right now. We'll see how it looks in the morning. Because of course this is all fresh water that I've put in here. We'll see how cloudy it gets overnight. Other than that, I really don't know what else to say about the tank. What I'm going to do is switch over to my iPhone so I can get off the webcam and give you some more detail and go over what some of the plants and stuff are. So with that, I'll be right back. Okay, so now we're going to go over the details on the tank. Here's a long shot of it from this angle. I wish I could go over to the other side, but I've got my computer and stuff in the way right now. So let's go take a look at the filtering. right now, a lot of this is temporary. I have the Magnum 55. I'm running charcoal in that right now, trying to get them impurities and stuff out. So that's running, it's working pretty good. It's not really only rated for a 55-gallon tank, but if you're going to have 3 different filters running on your tank, doesn't really matter. Then we have the Marineland next to it, which is the Marineland Penguin. This is the 150 with the bio wheel. I've got that running, and let me lift up the top. And back here, this is Seachem Matrix that I have in there, and then I also do have one of their filter cartridges. It's a little difficult with the bag in there to get it in, but I get it in there. It doesn't overflow or do anything. So I'm using that Seachem Matrix because that was in the 20-gallon tank. So that's got all the good bacteria in it. I'm just using that to help cycle this tank and get it off to a good start. Then back here, I have my air pump. And then I have my Aqueon. This is the 5575, which is rated for up to a 90-gallon tank. And while we're here, let's take a look at what the temperature is. It is 80 degrees right now. I'm going to slide this over here. I want to pull the top off of here and show you the inside. There's 2 cartridges in there. To be quite honest, I kind of like the filter. I like this little blue drip tray that it has for the water to drip into the tank. I don't know if you can hear it on the video, but it's not very noisy at all. The cartridges sit right inside this holder for it, this holster, which also gets bacteria and stuff to grow on. The one thing I don't like about it is these were the filters, and look how dirty it is. That came with it. There's really not that much carbon in these cartridges, so I'm hoping the replacement ones have a little more carbon in them than what the ones that came with it have. If they don't, I'm probably going to be doing some DIYing on that, and I'll be sure to let you know what I do with it in the future. Put my lid back on. Let's replace the temperature gauge. Sorry for the shakiness, but I'm trying to hold my phone and do this at the same time. Okay, so now we're going to get down into the tank. Let me shut the overhead light off. As I said, it's, you know, it's a lot clearer than what it was. I kind of got some air bubbles going in here. And I got my driftwood. So let's go ahead and kind of run through real quick what I've got going on in here. Right down here in the front, I have some Creeping Charlie. I got some dwarf sags in here. An Anubias Barteri Nana. That's a ruffle sword right there. And in the back, we have some contortion valve. And we also got some Sagittaria sabulata back there. We got a couple of Amazon swords over here. And we got some hornwort. Basically because it's a nutrient absorber, so I wanted that. I don't think I'll be keeping hornwort in my tank. It's a really dirty, filthy plant with needles that just get everywhere, so I honestly don't think I'm going to be keeping it. There's another Anubias Barteri. I also, on the driftwood, if you want to see it right there, I have some Java moss stuck into a couple of cracks there. I have some more Java moss there. I have a couple of branches of Ludwigia right back there that I pulled out of the 20. I have these green Cryptocrine Wendidis that I pulled out of the 20 and divided up and put in there, and they seem to be liking it in here. Got some more hornwort in the back. This is, that one there is an Anubias aphyzelli. I think that's how you say it. So I've got that stuck into a crack. All the Anubias plants are not tied down, they're just stuck into cracks on the actual driftwood. And the Java moss is punched into little cracks. I have some back there, hoping it's going to take off. It's a little bit more over there. Back there. I've got some tied onto this piece of driftwood, and some in the back there. And then there's some stuffed into a crack over there. And then down here, and over here on this side of the tank, I have some more dwarf sag. And some creeping Charlie in the corner, with a ruffled sword behind that. And then again, I have some contortion valves and some Sagittarius subulata. I wanted to put them back on the back half of the tank and in the corners. Let me pull back. I also have a Viva Aqua water pump. That's just basically to create some water flow and some, current in the tank, which is making the valves move back there. So basically that's what's in the tank. That's what I've got planted in here for right now. The hornwort, like I said, is just in there to absorb these nutrients that I have in there. Once I get a little more down the road, maybe about a month from now, hopefully I'll probably be pulling that hornwort out. I really had gotten it because I just wanted to let it float on the top of the tank, but it is so heavy that it just doesn't float. It just wants to sink. So I put it down and planted it in a couple of different spots, and I'm hoping that when I'm ready I can just pull it out of there. Got the dwarf sags over there again. I'm pretty happy with it, and I kind of like the way that it's set up. I've got to find something to stick. I want to get some Java moss or some Java fern. I do have some Java fern in the 20 that I may attach to this driftwood in a couple of different spots. Because this is basically about 1, 2, let me count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got like 7 pieces of driftwood configured in here, and just making it look like one long piece, which is great. I don't want to break it up. I was really hoping to kind of keep this end open a little bit more, so I don't know if that one piece of driftwood, if I'm going to pull this out or not, or figure out another way to set it up. I kind of wanted to keep this end of the tank kind of opened, except for like carpeting plants, which is why I put the dwarf sags down there. I want the fish to have plenty of room to swim, but I also want to have a jungle growing in here. So I hope you like the tank and what I'm going with it. I hope I've been able to impart some of what I think is going to work for me, or what has worked up to this point. And I plan to keep you updated, so please comment, suggestions, anything, hey, and I will get back to you for sure. Alright, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next update.